We believe what our minds tell us to, Joe. That's an alien world out there, Joe. Think of it.
I don't want to think of it. I want to go back to Earth.
But do you realize how long I've been confined to one planet?
All that talk of yours about traveling in time and space, it was true.
Well, of course it was true. Before I was stranded on Earth, I spent all my time exploring new worlds and seeking the wonders of the universe.
But you don't know what's out there.
Then let's find out. Don't you want to set foot on another world?
Makes it seem sort of pointless, really, doesn't it?
I felt like that once when I was young. It was the blackest day of my life.
Why?
Ah, well, that's another story. I'll tell you about it one day. The point is, that day was not only my blackest, it was also my best.
What do you mean?
Well, when I was a little boy, we used to live in a house that was perched halfway up the top of a mountain. And behind our house, there sat under a tree an old man, a hermit, a monk. He lived under this tree for half his lifetime, so they said, and he learned the secret of life. So, when my black day came, I went and asked him to help me.
He told you the secret? And what was it?
Well, I'm coming to that, Joe, in my own time. I'll never forget what it was like up there. All bleak and cold it was. A few bare rocks with some weeds sprouting from them. And some pathetic little patches of sludgy snow. Yes, it was just grey. Grey, grey, grey. Well, the tree the old man sat under, that was ancient and twisted, and the old man himself was as brittle and dry as a leaf in the autumn.
What did he say?
Nothing. Not a word. He just sat there silently, expressionless, and he listened whilst I poured out my troubles to him. I was too unhappy even for tears, I remember. When I'd finished, he lifted a skeletal hand and he pointed. Do you know what he pointed at?
No.
A flower. One of those little weeds. Just like a daisy it was. Well, I looked at it for a moment, and suddenly I saw it through his eyes. It was simply glowing with life, like a perfectly cut jewel. And the colors were deeper and richer than anything you can possibly imagine. Yes, it was the daisiest daisy I'd ever seen.
And that was the secret of life? A daisy? Honestly, Doctor.
Yes, I laughed too when I first heard it. So later I got up, and I ran down that mountain, and I found that the rocks weren't grey at all. They were red and brown, and purple and gold. And those pathetic little patches of sludgy snow, they were shining white in the sunlight. You still frightened, Joe?
No, not as much as I was.
Courage isn't just a matter of not being frightened, you know.
What is it then?
It's being afraid and doing what you have to do anyway. Just as you did.
Mom, what are you waiting for?
I feel a bit scared.